I'm Angie Anderson, here to bring you the truth about your colonial state of mind here at RecRoom Radio.
And I'm Cotton Mathers, here to inform you that truth is really stupid.
Seriously, Cotton? I haven't even been here for 5 minutes.
To be fair, neither have I.
Well, you know what, Cotton? We have limited radio time, and I intend to make good use of every second. The people have a right to know about everything that is going on that affects their lives. For example, Ed Cooper has been vacationing in Boland for the past 9 months. He's supposed to be focusing on his campaign for governor, but instead he sits on the beach drinking pina coladas. Meanwhile, conditions here in the colonies are even worse than ever. Amanda Reynolds has been making various public appearances at rallies, fundraisers, and charity events. So while he sips his cocktails, she's in the trenches.
If you like pina coladas.
What's wrong with pina coladas?
You're missing the point, Cotton. We're on the eve of so many important movements that will define our future. Take Q-Node rights, for example. Just rewind back to Amanda Reynolds for a moment. Have you heard that she recently partnered with the NSFAIIE, the National Society for Artificial Intelligence Integration and Equality? Now, this is a group that understands colonial rights, Cotton. This is just another reason why Amanda should be elected.
You know what I think, Angie? I think the only reason why Amanda Reynolds has a snowball's chance in hell for winning this election is because people are too stupid to realize that no matter who they vote for, they're just as likely to die or go missing. All of this supposed quote-unquote Q-Node rights, it's completely meaningless if all the Q-Nodes keep doing is essentially getting lobotomized. They're glorified toasters at that point, nothing more. They don't even understand what rights are. Before we worry about Q-Nodes being able to vote, we should look to the more important things plaguing the colonies. You know, like establishing a bacon franchise. I don't know about you, but I love bacon, and I think the colonies deserve more of it.
You know what? I'm glad you decided to bring up the Q-Node disappearances, Cotton, because it's more complicated than that. But I don't expect someone like you to understand. Are you trying to say because these terrible things happen to the Q-Nodes means that they don't deserve rights? If they were people, listen to how fucked up this would be. You have about 100 or so people disappearing in mass with no trace of where they go. They're gone for weeks, and when they do come home, they can't even feed themselves. They just sit there and stare off into nothing. Women, children, husbands, sisters, all suddenly trapped in the confines of their own mind. You can see their suffering. These poor Q-Nodes are reported to be only asking for progressive upgrades. They know they need our help. Technology can't upgrade itself out of the issue, Cotton.
If you like pina coladas.
I'm serious, Cotton.
Well, you obviously misunderstood what I said. This issue obviously has nothing to do with Q-Node rights. These Q-Nodes are being taken and obviously reprogrammed, so this actually does have everything to do with technology and upgrades. You know what this reminds me of, Angie? Something that you're clearly forgetting. Wait for it. The Forgotten. For the Avatar's sake, they are called the freaking Forgotten. It's not like we go on crazy expeditions to figure out where they're from. We just tell them to get with the program. Make something of yourself, or go back to where you came from. Aw, what? Too soon? Too soon?
You're changing the subject, Cotton.
I'll change your subject.
Cotton!
Angie?
What is this, a high school debate?
Fine. You want to talk about something more important? I'll use your own example against you. People, not toasters, are actually disappearing. You know how many lurker sightings have been in the last couple of weeks? Well, 2, because, no one usually sees them before it's too late. But, those people don't show up again. And, well, if they do, even if they do, they'll just be all brains and no brawn. Like the average voting colonist.
Cotton, you don't even want to get me started on zombie rights.
Whoa. Wait a second, Angie. You aren't serious, are you? Zombie rights? Do you even listen to yourself?
Yes, and as a matter of fact, I have a petition I submitted to the UNDEAD, United National Department of Equal Acceptance for the Dead, to provide proper housing, clothing, and nourishment for all the infected individuals. These people are sick, and with everyone's support, we are that much closer to finding a cure.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have no words. This is probably the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Ever.
What's the matter, Cotton? Afraid they're going to hop the quarantine and take your job?
Yeah, You know what? Actually, it's kind of a good point. Now that you've worded it that way, I agree with you. You're right.
Really?
Yeah, seriously, I can see it now. The nighttime show with Angie Anderson and DJ, On tonight's show, we have a very special guest, DJ, who are you voting for during the Empire election? I agree with you, DJ, I don't like Ed Cooper either. You so get it, DJ, we're so on the same page, it's like we're mind-linked. And just in case it wasn't abundantly clear to you, no, that's not why I thought it was a terrible idea. I just like, living.
Well, what about the ECPD strings that have been going on ever since the massacre?
You mean the assassination attempt?
Believe whatever the Polish media tells you, Cotton, but it doesn't change the fact that the ECPD strings are higher than ever. All the activity in the Princeton area is making me a little bit nervous.
Well, first I think that you mean ECPD stings, not strings. And what do you think they're going to do? Find your stash of pencil shavings?
No. And what I do in my spare time is none of your business. But seriously, they've been monitoring the block of 9A like a hawk. I don't know what they got on them, but it really is making me on edge.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually legitimately agree with you on this one, Angie. The ECPD should be focusing on more real threats, not playing this silly game of cat and mouse.
Meow.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that RecRoom Radio is increased security and we are at 247 days without incident now. But that whole thing that happened with that Skullface Eddie guy in the last call, it's still a little nerve-wracking to me, to say the least. I heard Boomcat had to take a leave of absence for 9 months. I wonder what that was really about. Maybe her and DJ Dude Bro. And I'm not one that would normally give Dude Bro a compliment, but not only would I give him kudos for that leave of absence, but he kind of actually handled the situation pretty well.
You know what? I don't like violence, but I do understand the need for change. With organizations like The Last Call, the Vanguard, the Makers, they can either become the heroes that people need or the villains that people are afraid of. I just hope they make the right choices.
You actually said something insightful and deep? Good Lord, are we recording this?
Very funny, Cotton.
Well, that's all the time we have for RecRoom Radio today. Time to go take a Bactrim for this migraine. Good night.